Guys, Pelican here, and I'm joined with Hunter Lloyd again. How you doing today?
Hello.
Hello. Alright, what'd you play today?
I played Rock Prank Kids.
Rock Prank Kids?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My Prank Kid deck is pretty rocky.
Alright, why'd you play that deck?
I liked the Prank Kid deck originally, and I liked the Rock deck because I had the deck from a while ago. And so I didn't really want to play Dragon Link or anything because I don't like that deck. So I decided to play this.
Okay, well then go ahead and show us the profile.
So, just like how at old Adamancipator, you needed to play all of the minors because you just needed to see names and resolve as many effects as you could. So that's why you have to play all three. For people that don't know, they all have the same generic effect. Look at the top 5. If you hit a summon a non-tuner rock, you find there. Put the rest at the bottom of the deck.
Okay.
Next for the Prank Kid cards, you only play 5, but they're the most important ones. You only play Roxy because he's a rock level 4. That's the very important thing, he's a 4 because it's very good for your leveling. And then Dropsies is important because he's a level 2 Aqua for Dragite. So that's the reason why you play these two. Okay. And also it's like in time you just summon this and then you just gain 1,000 and you win for some reason. Cool time system, I guess. For other rocks that you play, obviously you play Guardian because you just need a counter to Nibiru or just other hand traps and you summon Guardian off a random hit. And now you just have Call by the Grave for some reason. Your extender, the chain blocks for Roxy's. So one of the better plays that you have is there's 2. There's Parallel Exceed and this. So you just normal summon Roxy's, link it off for Meow Meow, chain link 1 this, chain link 2 this. So they can't actually ash this, which is really good for you. So it nets you like 4 cards in the entire little combo sequence, and then it continues off your play of some adding Researcher off Gallant Granite, and then gives you a link 2 plus the Gallant Granite play, which actually just levels up in Appaloosa later. It's nice.
Hunter, do you want to split?
2 Doki Doki. I have never liked 3 even in the original builds of like Adamancipator. I thought about putting it to 3, but you've never really wanted to see it because you need to discard the cards, and a lot of the time you need a lot of the cards in your hand to play. But you have actually just more cards that recoup cards, like Roxy's gets more rock cards usually. This gets a Guardian always. But sometimes you don't want to use this effect, but most of the time you do. It's for extra value. The main problem with the deck is not its explosiveness, but rather the recovery play. Because that's the hardest part to like actually play with the deck, and this actually just hinders your recovery play but gets you more cards on the board. 2 Tackle Crusader. This card is actually really good for this deck because not only is it a rock level 4 monster, but also it actually has 2 effects that actually help you break boards. A lot of people at this local that I play actually play Winda Turbo, so it actually is an out to Winda and also an out to back row. It's an out to the Buster Lock and just a bunch of like problematic cards that chain to you. Just summoning this card off either a rock effect or discarding it off like say Twin Twister or whatever that's in the side deck, you know, it does a lot. The 2 effects that it has is either you can bounce a face-up back row and your opponent can't activate another one, or it just Book Moon's a monster. For other rocks, obviously the one of it just draws a card, which is pretty good because you need more resources now. It's also recycling, which is kind of nice sometimes, but you can cut it. It's not that bad. 3 Parallel Exceed. It's just an extender that gives you 2 bodies on the board for the free rank 4, just like in Salad, but like now it's like a lot better because you have synchros and stuff plays to be made. So it's just really good for that. I'm also gonna make Appaloosa if you want. For the hand traps, I play a fair bit. 3 Gamma, 2 Ash, 1 Bell. I only own 1 Bell, but it gives out a percent ratio of what I like of the 9 with 3 impermanence.
Okay.
So I don't like playing any more than 9 because it just bricks on that point. And then I have 2 signs on my deck.
2, why not 3?
3 bricks. You want to see it sometime, then not all the time.
Oh, of course. And
that runs out the main deck. For the extra deck, it's pretty, like, I don't know, you wouldn't really consider an Adamancipator deck standard, but really for the Link monsters, because you're playing Crank Kids, you have to play this one and this one. So this is the one that Roxy's goes into, this is the one that Dropsies goes into, and vice versa. It doesn't matter which one you really start at. If you start with Roxy's, you get a rank 4. If you start with Dropsies, you get a Arc Light. It does the same thing though, really. This, obviously, because you're playing, you know, Adamancipator. It's free link 2. Now it's not a 1-card combo anymore. It's more of just a link climbing type card, so you don't always go into it every single turn. But people just still fear fiber, so now you can just like a lot of people still throw an Ash or something at this card, so it's fine. It does this job what it needs to do. Phoenix. It's Phoenix. Mouse back row. Never really summoned it this game today, but it's there. Lambda. Lambda's really good for you because not only it gives you more protection if you actually draw Gamma turn 1. If you just have like 2 random monsters, like say you normal summon an Analyzer, and you have like Parallel Exceed, and like you didn't really hit anything good off like Analyzer. You just hit like some like I don't know Supplier or something. You go into this, summon the Parallel Exceed, and now like your opponent is now scared to actually hand trap you in fear of you actually drawing your Gamma. So that's actually the main reason.
Did that ever come up? Or?
Yeah, it actually came up a few times. Not only do I draw Gamma usually, so this card's actually really good for me, but even the fear of just putting Gamma on the the possibility of having Gamma on the board is just unreal. Unicorn because you know it's a combo deck, you just gotta play it. Apollosa because it's part of it's a lot of negates, and especially you just have cards laying around to make this card, so it's easy. Access Code, it's a kill combo, you have to play it. For the 2 rank 4s that I play, obviously you have to play Gallant Granite to add Researcher, because there's obviously will be times you just don't see tuners, but you'll see a lot of 4s, so that's just what that does for you. And it also makes Parallel Exceed really good. The card that like makes this deck really unfair, and this makes a lot of your negates actually impactful, is Dweller. So Dweller's actually amazing this format, and every single deck that plays against it usually loses. Against Eldritch, they actually can't even use like Alistair, cannot use Invocation, Nadir turns off, Dragon Link, a lot of their cards actually revolve in the graveyard, so it actually is really hard for them to play with those and get those free value that they usually try to get. And that's really the main thing. Shadalls can't really play. Dino can't activate Mist. Like, have you read Mist, bro? Have you read Dweller? Okay.
Dweller doesn't care.
Exactly. So those are just like the main thing, and that's really like one of the most unfair parts about this deck is the ability to make Dweller really easily.
Okay.
Another thing is a lot the synchros that you play, they're really good. So I play Arclight, obviously to protect Dweller from Droplet. That's the main reason for it, but it's also free negate, so that's nice. Reptile and Dragite. So standard, you know, no reason to explain them. Oral Savage. And the last card, the last spot, I just wanted to play it for the meme. It's actually the entire reason why I wanted to play this deck. Is I actually just wanted to summon Barkion. That's the entire reason. I actually summoned it twice today, won both games because of it. Into like my opponent would like set 5 cards. I'd summon like Analyzer, hit Doki Doki effect, hit like or summon like some Tard card, and then I just slam Barkion into 5 back row of like Punishment, Schism, and all this garbage, and then I just won the game for no reason. So because a lot of like no one really plays like Judgment or Strike anymore. They only play like normal trap cards or continuous traps like Judgment or Punishment and Ice Dragon's Prison. So it's just nice to have sometimes. But if I were to actually play in a real tournament, I think this would be the Fire Synchro. What he does is if you have a fire in your graveyard, you can summon back any rock monster, and then during your turn, you can look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add any Adamancipator card. So you can add like it's basically a follow-up play, which is really good. And then during your opponent's turn, you either reborn this because you have the ability to make like if you have the rock fire guy, you can make one of these easier, like and not have like a repetition. Or you can just reborn Guardian and just another negate, so it just works. For the side deck really doesn't matter. 3 Nibiru. I don't like main decking Nibiru because there's a lot of like window players here, and Alistair, I don't like that card. This.
Why didn't you want to main deck Nibiru?
I don't like Nibiru as a card.
Okay.
Nibiru doesn't beat anything. If your deck can play, if you're playing in a tournament, your deck should be able to beat this or is unaffected by it. Like Alistair doesn't do anything. Like this card by itself won't beat anything. You always have to have another card with it. And like, why would I play this when Gamma is just clearly superior?
Okay, that's fair. These more back removal because I don't like back row. Probably figure it out same with these. But
Book of Eclipse is probably the most interesting card in my side deck because it honestly beats a lot of the cards in the meta right now. Like, yeah, sure, while technically this card won't single-handedly beat a Dragon Link board, it beats the... It allows you to activate it when they have, like, Winda, Mechaba, and all these Ecclesias right here. And it allows you to just book out the entire board so you can try to play. And that's, like, the main thing.
Okay, I got you.
It also is a pretty good, decent like defending card, like going first card. If you actually if you feel like sighting it in, I probably wouldn't because it's a combo deck. But if you're playing like a control deck, you could sight in going first into a combo deck and just like book an entire Dragon Link board when they start, so they lose the 2 spaces. That's probably like one of the best things you can do if you're gonna play this card defensively. So overall, it's like a lot like Book of Moon in that sense, which I always enjoyed a lot of.
Okay, well, how did the deck feel and all that great stuff?
I went undefeated today. Didn't really lose a game. Actually, don't think I lost a game. I lost a lot of the dice rolls today, which was really good. I think I won like 1. And then, but I still won game 1 anyway, so it doesn't matter.
You tell me how you sacked off Ghost Bell for call by the group?
Oh yeah, the one of Ghost Bell negating call by the group every time. I don't know what you're talking about. That couldn't be me. Imagine activating call by the group. Couldn't be me.
I hate you.
Alright, well, thank you for coming on the channel. Hopefully we see you again.
Yeah.